biggest bad guy character in professional wrestling?
When's the last time you got laid?
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Like, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Can we tell the truth about Dusty sooner or later?
Bro,
like-
less people wanted that than are currently watching our stream.
And you know Vince, and you still think, are these true? It's like...
Welcome to the Smackdown podcast.
Hey gang, it's Friday night and it's the Mark It Down podcast with your host of Friday nights, Matt Cascone, here to review, of course, Friday Night Smackdown. And man, oh man, tonight was a chore to watch Smackdown. We had the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, the brackets, the matches, the qualifiers, yada, yada, yada. They were all tonight. Well, the ongoing story of that was tonight. And I'm into King of the Ring. I'm into tournaments. But man, was I uninterested. I don't know if it was just me or if it was you or if it was both of us, but this just did not do it for me. And right off the bat, first match of the night, it is Bianca Belair, one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, versus, what time is it? Tiffy time, Tiffany Stratton, in a first time ever matchup. Now, right off the bat, this is what I don't like. We have this match, which a lot of us, it was speculated that this might be a WrestleMania match for WrestleMania 40. This was one of the speculated matches. It's a huge matchup. A lot of eyes on it, a lot of potential, and they just gave it away on SmackDown for free in a qualifying match for King of the Ring. Sorry, Queen of the Ring in this instance. And it was a good match, decent match. There was some miscommunications, some flub ups. I thought maybe Tiff got a little loopy maybe with a hit. All I know is that I think both these women are incredible. You know, you tell me like, hey, you want to watch a Tiffany Stratton match, or hey, you want to watch a Bianca Belair match? 9 times out of 10, the answer is hell yeah. And tonight, they didn't really connect well. It happens. It's not the end of the world. These ladies have a bright future ahead of them, especially Tiffany Stratton, who's fairly new. I'm sure they're going to meet again. I'm sure they'll have a better match next time. I'm willing to bet on that. But it's just a shame, in my opinion, that this is the first time they're having a matchup and it's in Queen of the Ring. Now, it's very important to note that this match specifically, they were selling Bianca Belair and her injured knee. That was a huge selling point. And for me, I like this. And I thought it was opening the door. Well, Tiffany can win this match, possibly in dastardly heel fashion, and it won't hurt Bianca Belair. It won't hurt her credibility. It won't hurt her stock. She can recover from this. It's not a big deal. But instead, they flipped it around. Bianca Belair wins clean against Tiffany Stratton, and Tiffany Stratton, in my opinion, looks like a doofus. She looks like a bimbo. Sorry. I know that's probably a heated word nowadays, but I feel like in this instance, it fits because Bianca Belair was down and out. She was hurt. They were selling a knee injury. It should have been an easy out to have Bianca lose this match. Now, I'm all for flipping the script and, turning the tables and surprising people, keeping us on our toes. I like that. But it just didn't work here for me. I know James says it in the comments. Let's pull it up. Shocked Tiffany isn't going to win the whole thing. I don't know if I would go that far, but I wouldn't have bet against her. Let's put it that way. Up until tonight, I would not have bet against her. I think on paper, this is a great way to open the show, is to have Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton. Again, I think it's a WrestleMania worthy match. I think with a little bit more time on Tiffany's end, this is a bold statement, but I think it could be a WrestleMania main event match. You know, Bianca's had one of those, and I think it's one of the best WrestleMania matches I've seen. So, but tonight was not great, and it was not the night for Tiffany. And it's also very bizarre, this whole thing. I don't know if you follow the social medias that we're currently on right now, so you probably are following, but there was a video that Tiffany Stratton posted on her story that a fan made of. It was a clip of her hitting Jade Cargill in a three woman tag match, and there was audio dub of a woman saying something along of, I should be careful, I'm just quoting this, so don't get mad at me. The quote was something like, "You black bitch." And there was a huge uproar online. There was, people were angry. Cancel culture was going strong. Did I think it was appropriate? No, it was definitely inappropriate. Did I think it was out of line? Maybe. But let's be honest. Jade Cargill in AEW, she always said, "I'm that bitch." That was Jade Cargill's thing. She said that. And she's obviously a woman of color. She's black. Nothing wrong with that. So I feel like it, in the realm of wrestling, pro wrestling, WWE, it doesn't seem like, on my level of like offendedness, it's like a 5. It really wasn't a big deal. But this match tonight had been reported from multiple sources that it had been canceled. And then there was another report, like all this juicy, like, let's sip the tea, keeps going. There was another report that apparently Montez Ford changed his ex, like, you know, his description to like father of 2, changed it to father of 3. So people were speculating that Bianca Belair was pregnant, and that's why they canceled this match, not because of Tiffany, but because of Bianca. But it turned out, I guess none of that is true, because Bianca had a match tonight, and so did Tiffany Stratton. They had it against each other. Tiffany lost. Also, I don't think people announce their father that soon. I mean, you don't want to jinx it. Like, God forbid. Like, you know, having children can be tough for some people. So, regardless, just a bizarre storm of a storm. Jade Cargill, right there, a bizarre storm of. I don't even want to say controversy, because I don't even want to give it that much credit, but definitely a weird storm of uproar and offended feelings. No, James, I'm not pregnancy shaming. I'm just saying you don't want to announce a pregnancy that soon, because you never know what could happen. God forbid. You know, that's most people. They do not announce a pregnancy like as soon as they get the test. Like, they wait. The doctors tell them that they got to wait that period where it's just like, all right, you're in a safe spot. I know a lot about pregnant people. I'm a fairly new uncle. I wish I had a picture to show you right now. We need to do some pictures with me and my nephew. I did a great picture with a new cousin of mine. She's only same age as my nephew. I'm the Rock. Hold it. Follow, my Instagram handle's on the bottom. Scroll down to last month, April. You'll see a great picture of me as the Rock holding my baby cousin. It's beautiful, amazing. Want more pictures like that with my nephew. Anyway, back on track. So yeah, everything, all the gossip this week seemed to be incorrect, because we got the match. Everything was fine. And again, I don't think it was at my level, it was like a 5 out of 10. I mean, think about it this way. I know Tiffany's not The Rock. Nobody's The Rock but The Rock. But the things that Rock has been saying lately, I didn't think, if Jade Cargill was offended, then by all means, you know, I'm not going to tell her not to be offended. But like, to me, it was pretty much just like, this seems like a classic case of wrestler trying to get heat, and it doesn't seem super out of line. But what was it about this match that I really liked? Oh, one note about the match. Bianca Belair hit a German suplex on Tiffany Stratton, and somehow, we've seen it before, but in this case, it just seemed, never sell these ladies short, because one, Bianca Belair is strong as F, like really strong. And Tiffany, it was a gymnast. She's very agile, and able to do these flips. They did a German suplex, and Tiffany did an extra rotation so that she didn't land on her back. She did the extra rotation and landed on her stomach, her belly, her face. It was great. It looked awesome. It looked like it hurt. So hats off, tip to the hat for, and I'm usually wearing hats, but not tonight. It was great. And I just love that spot. And like James said, people jumped the gun on this. Yeah, we all just need to chill out and let these guys do what they do. You don't always have to agree with it, but we shouldn't always just like, I don't even want to get into it more because like there's some stuff in the past with Tiffany that people have like questioned. I'm like, you know what? Let's live in the here and now, and let's just enjoy Friday Night Smackdown. Unfortunately, I didn't, but we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about it. So tonight, that was the first match. Wasn't a huge fan. Wasn't a bad match by any means. I just would not have given it away in this tournament on SmackDown for free. Not how I would have done that. Anyway, we're moving on. So we see Logan Paul. He's entered the building. He has a match with Cody Rhodes at this Queen and King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring, Saudi Arabia. Why don't they just call it Crown Jewel? They had like 5 Crown Jewel shows. That makes sense. A king and a queen. They're both Crown Jewel. Why didn't they just bring back the name Crown Jewel? I don't know. God. So Logan Paul walks up to Nick Aldis's office. He's got some like really flashy font on his office. I'm like, okay, office door. Boom. Before he opens the door, or as he's opening the door, I don't remember. L.A. Knight. Yeah. He comes out of the office. He was talking to Nick Aldis. He has a little showdown, a little eye to eye, a little nose to nose action. Not quite nose to nose, but there was a little bit of close talking. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Just some commentary, some constructive criticism on my podcasting. How do you guys think I'm doing so far? Anyway, LA Knight and I was about to say Paul London and Logan Paul face off, and the crowd, you hear them, they're into it, and it's like, this dude, LA Knight, should have had this title a year ago. A lot of us in the pod, you've heard, if you've listened to pod before, if you haven't, we all said most of us said that they should have done a ladder match for the U.S. title, not the tag titles at Mania, and that LA Knight, should have won the title from Logan Paul in said match. We'll get back to Logan Paul, but moving on to another promo. We got the Jade Cargill has a promo. She talks about her match. She's going to beat Nia Jax. That's her qualifying match. Another first time match tonight. So we'll see where that goes. Back to Bianca and Tiff. I was surprised by the ending. I already said that. I'm also surprised that it didn't end in like shenanigans or something like that. It was just like a clean finish. It told the story from start to end with no interruption, which I thought usually I like. But again, considering this is in this tournament, maybe could have, done something different. I don't know. It just sucks for Tiffany. It really does. And I didn't dig it. So then we get another promo. It is, what we got? The Bloodline. The Bloodline are in the back. Solo Sikoa has cut his hair a little bit. He's got a red suit. Maybe he had this last week. I don't know. I didn't watch last week. I hate it. He looks like he's a ringmaster at a circus. He looks like he's valeting cars at a fancy club. He looks like a doofus. In the beginning of that promo, they're like in the backstage segment of they're in the Bloodline locker room, even though I thought they dissolved that, but I guess they still have it. Tama Tonga is like going back and forth, pacing, like snorting, like he's a hyena or a Tasmanian devil. And I'm not a big New Japan guy. Like I watch it, but not regularly. I know who Tama Tonga is. I was at, what was that, Supercard at MSG. Was that what it was called? Supercard, guys? The show like 5 years ago. And Tama Tonga basically killed PCO. And I don't think I've reacted more to anything ever in wrestling live. Like, I know that wrestling is predetermined and scripted, but I was like, fucking hate you, Tama Tonga. Like, fuck you. Like, I like literally, I was so upset that he nearly killed PCO. I don't care about Tama Tonga now. And it's just like, what are you going to do? I don't know. This isn't working. I was on board for it. I was intrigued, but this isn't working. I think everyone is just waiting for Roman to come back, reform the original bloodline, have them be face, and just they hopefully they would beat Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Solo Sikoa. I mean, that I think is the end game, because this group is just and yeah, it's just like the main thing is that last week Solo Sikoa told Paul Heyman, like, oh, you haven't talked to Roman Reigns since Mania? Well, I've talked to him. And then he reiterated this week, and I don't think I've heard a line less convincing. That part, I will say, wait and see. But on the surface, it looks like Solo Sikoa is a motherfucking liar. James asks, what isn't working for you specifically? Tama Tonga, that whole snorting thing. It was a joke. It made me laugh. Like, it was dumb when we're supposed to take them as a serious group. Tonga Loa hasn't done anything yet. He didn't do anything tonight. I get that him and Tama Tonga are a team, but Tama Tonga's in the King of the Ring tournament, so they're not together. And Solo Sikoa, in his new suit and his slightly cut hair, his red suit, just like they look like a laughable group. They don't look serious. They don't look intimidating. And we've all heard the reports that they're concerned about when they bring in Jacob Fatu, who has been signed by WWE. They're concerned that he will outshine Solo Sikoa because they basically do the same thing, but Jacob Fatu does it better. And that's like straight shooting. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I like Solo when he came in, but I don't think he's grown significantly. How'd you like SmackDown, buddy? Hope my booking was great as always. The man with 3 H's. You dastard. Triple H, you know, good son of a bitch. Don't you hit her. Why, Triple H? Tell me why. You bastard. You son of a bitch. Was that good, JR, Triple H? I mean, we've all seen that, the highlight clip. I know I definitely did not do it word for word. I definitely paraphrased, but the game approves. I appreciate it. Thank you, game. I can definitely do that more, and I can do it more on point. You just gotta let me watch the video first. I can do pretty good. But yeah, no, I didn't like SmackDown, and I was saying I like tournaments. I even like King of the Ring, but this just seems like this was the slog, and they were giving away a lot of first-time matches ever just on regular TV. And I don't mind that every once in a while, but it just seemed wasted tonight. So back to what's next. Then another promo. So we had the first match, which we already talked about. I'm not even going to go back there. But now we're having another promo. And LA Knight runs into Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes just like wants everyone's approval or appreciation. And he's just being a little prick. Knight makes a great Tom Brady analogy. He's like, hey, like when Tom Brady got drafted, who got drafted? The year that Tom Brady got drafted, who was drafted number 1? Nobody remembers, because Carmelo Hayes is bragging that he got drafted number 1. So Knight is saying that like he's basically Tom Brady, and Carmelo Hayes is whoever got drafted number 1, who nobody remembers. Carmelo Hayes is like, oh, well, you know, you're LA Knight, but I am HIM. I'll get into that in the later bit. And Knight has some good back and forth here and gets some good zingers on Carmelo Hayes. It is now 8:41. I don't remember when the first match ended, but it's 8:41 and the second match is starting. And I'm just like, dude, this is taking too long. We're having too many. It just needs to be broken up more. There was so many. There was like promo after promo after promo after promo until we got another match. And I talked about it when I was doing Smackdown, like with the France Smackdown. I think they had 4 matches over 2 hours. And then Backlash the next night had 5 matches over, I assume it was a 3-hour show. I didn't watch it. But it just seems like we're going back to this weird spot where we're not doing enough wrestling and we're doing too much promos, which SmackDown is not SmackDown specifically, but WWE has been guilty of in the past. And I don't want to see that. Again, I don't think any of I didn't like the Bloodline promo, but I didn't think any of these promos were necessarily bad. It was too many in a row. So anyway, 8:41, LA Knight, versus Tama Tonga. That's the next match in the King of the Ring tournament. And that starts. There's a great sign in the crowd. It says Solo for Burger King of the Ring. And I'm like, sign of night. There was another good sign. I'll tell you later, but that was definitely it. I got bored watching this match, so I left. I came back. I'm sure there's some sort of shenanigans, but I missed it. And Tonga runs at Knight and hits kind of like, what is it? It's kind of like a flatliner, kind of like a end of days. But it's a running, bringing back, sweeping. I don't know. It's face buster. I don't know. Beats Knight. Fine. Knight's not in the tournament. Fine. Just get him the U.S. title already. Next, we get a promo. We get an in-ring segment, the contract signing of Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. So this is going to be a Saudi Arabia match. It's right up their wheelhouse. I feel like 2/3 of the Saudi Arabia matches shows are just terrible. And this match, even though I don't think it'll be terrible, it just feels like a very, how's the way to describe it? Very transparent match. You know Cody's going to win. You know nothing crazy is going to happen. It's not going to be a 5-star match like AJ Styles. And the worst part is, why is Logan Paul getting another world title match in Saudi Arabia? He already got one. He lost it. He didn't do anything to earn this one. And I think he's only defended the U.S. title 3 times. He defended it against Kevin Owens in Royal Rumble. He defended it against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And he might have defended it one more time before that, or he beat Rey Mysterio for the title. I don't remember which it was. But the man is like bragging. And I know it's the whole thing about heels, that they brag about things that like in a warped way make sense, but at the same time are dumb. But this just takes the cake. Oh, I'm the longest reigning champion in WWE. And it's like, okay, but you've only defended the title 2 or 3 times. Like, this is a Roman Reigns reign all over again. And we don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see, like, I would say no legitimate fan, no intelligent fan wants to see an endless reign with barely any defenses. Like, do you really want to see your champion not have matches, not wrestle, not defend the championship? Because then, like, what are you watching for? To see them say I'm the best and like that's it, or not show up at all? I don't know, man. Like, you tell me. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Look in my eyes. I'll say that for enough time. Anyway, another great sign. Logan is why shampoo has instructions. I think that's funny. I mean, Logan, some would say, has great hair. I mean, he's got hair. Like, not everyone could say that. So still, the sign made me laugh. It was creative. It was original. It was better than Cody mentions the "my dogs like to wrestle" sign lady tonight. He was getting into the crowd. He's like, this girl knows. She said he mentioned her sign. Then he's like, that guy in the way up there. He like ran out of actual people to like call out. He just stopped after that woman because I guess he's like, okay, nothing's gonna get worse than this or better. I don't know. It depends on what your opinion is. But anyway, they go into a whole promo. It's Cody Rhodes on one side of the table. They call this in the middle. Logan Paul on the other side. Logan Paul has 2 broccoli-haired goons with him, as well as his litigator, who's just an odd-looking man. Not like a bad-looking guy, but just like, where did you find this guy? That's what I want to know. Anyway, they're going to do the contract signing. And this whole thing is that, and we've been dreading, is that it was supposed to be Cody Rhodes puts his undisputed WWE championship up on the line, and in the same fashion, Logan Paul would put his United States championship on the line. And everyone's just kind of like, bro, Cody doesn't need 2 titles. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not what we need. This is not what we want. Would it be the worst thing in the world? No, but like, why? Why would you do this? And so they just take it away. Maybe they never planned to do it. Maybe they heard the reaction. I don't know. But all I know is Logan Paul, I shouldn't do this because it's my actual notes, rips up the title. Sorry, not the title. He rips up the notes. And that's funny. My mess up. You'll get Logan's mess up in a second. Rips up the contract, makes up excuses, says, he's not putting his title on the line. What did I write here? Oh, I wrote that Logan, like, Italian, he sounded like real, like, trying to sound mafiosa. And it's just like, what is he doing? Maybe that was just me, but he's just like, oh, I'm not putting my title on the line. What do you think this is? Come on. Like, he didn't say come on, but like, that was like his inflection the whole time. And I'm like, what is this? Is this guy even Italian? Like, this guy's ridiculous. I guess maybe that was the point. All you need to know is that, thank God, Logan Paul isn't putting his title on the line. It's just Cody's. But this is the annoying part. Cody was just like, I'm ready to be a Grand Slam champion. Yeah, like, I'm into this. And then he's just basically like, all right, yep, signs the contract. Like, there's no argument. There's no, like, you said you would do this. It was just kind of, it was like, what? Why? Why would you book it like this? They bleeped the "you suck" chant. Like, I thought they were going to say, you suck. Can I say it, Eric? Can I say the last part? Can I say it? Let me know in the comments. I'll say it later, or I won't say it. So they bleeped it out the first time because I thought they were actually saying, like, oh shit, it's ECW One Night Stand John Cena all over again. But no, they were just saying you suck. So I'm not sure why they bleeped it out the first time. There was another chant, he can't read, in regards to Logan Paul reading the first contract or lack thereof and just ripping it up instead. And then here's the part that Logan Paul messed up. He said contract on the line, not title on the line. So that was funny. And he's just like, oh, I had my lawyer look over it. He missed a great opportunity. He could have said that it was notarized by his lawyer. He's been like, it's been notarized. Like, that would have made me laugh. Like, just something completely ridiculous like that. That's the kind of stuff I like. And he didn't do it. That bummed me out. He mentions Jake Paul and his impending fight with Mike Tyson. Cody Rhodes mentions it. He says, like, Mike Tyson, WWE Hall of Famer, is going to kick your brother's ass just like I am. And I thought it was a huge missed opportunity for Cody Rhodes to say, I'm going to eat your babies, bitch. Like, that would have been funny. It would have been completely nuts and insane and crazy and out of the blue. And definitely the sponsors wouldn't have been happy, but I would have enjoyed it. So Cody Rhodes, you done messed up. You missed a great opportunity. You didn't even have to add the bitch at the end, although you've called The Rock a bitch. So, like, why not? And also, Logan Paul doesn't have any babies. So there's, like, no actual, is his fiance pregnant? I don't know. But regardless, there's no threat there. And it would have been funny. And Cody could have gotten away with it. So I will say it ended. Of course, Logan tries to hit Cody. Cody counters. He puts through one of the broccoli-haired goons through the table. They amp Scray. Cody holds up both titles. Makes no sense because he's not getting the challenge for the. So she is pregnant. Well, Cody isn't going to eat a fetus, so he could still say it. But good to know. I'm bummed. I just, like, you mentioned Mike Tyson. Just go for it. Come on, you're Cody Rhodes. Just go for it. Anyway, I will say, you know what? Remember when Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns had their last SummerSlam match, and in the beginning, Brock is on the what was it, tractor, whatever you want to call it, the vehicle, and he tosses the mic at Roman Reigns perfectly, and Roman catches it, and it was just like baller move. Cody in the ring, I think with one arm, tosses Logan Paul's U.S. title out of the ring, and Logan doesn't even have to move from where he's standing. Lands perfectly in his arms, and he catches it perfectly. Like, it doesn't like bounce off his chest or anything, and it was just great. And that was fun for me. It won't be as good as the Roman catching the mic, but it was a little thing I appreciate, and I just want to give it some credit because, again, I didn't like tonight, so I got to give credit where I can. I don't know what Cody does behind closed. Okay, moving on. What do we have next? Next, I can rip up those notes because I'm on the next notes anyway. We have a Nia Jax promo. It's fine. It's kind of predictable, but whatever. Interesting thing, they're doing the camera work thing where they've noticed we've been getting, less camera cuts and more continuous shots. And a lot of people have praised it, myself included. I like it. It's like it's fresh. It's a change of pace. And for the most part, it works. I don't want them to overdo it though. And this is not a huge criticism. This is just something I noticed because, again, I'm not talking a lot about specifically what's happening in matches. I didn't have a good time tonight. But when they follow Nia Jax, she goes through the first curtain, and it's the gorilla position. So we just see like 3 refs sitting down. We see like a guy behind the computer desk. She goes through the next curtain, and like the camera kind of has to go through the curtain and kind of loses her. And then they switch camera positions. It was just kind of like, we didn't need this. I don't need to see gorilla position. I don't need to see cameras going through curtains, especially when it's stuff like that where it can get kind of awkward. And it's like, how much did that actually add, that shot? So again, not a big deal. Doesn't even, I'm sure I'm the only one who's even talking about it. It's just a note. I don't want them to overdo it. And we'll see down the line. Maybe sometime down the line, people will be like, I'm sick of this. I'm like, I told you I didn't want them to overdo it, and they're overdoing it. But I digress. This is where we have this match now. Another first-time matchup. It is Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. The winner will go on to the next round of the Queen of the Ring tournament to face the injured Bianca Belair because she's still selling the knee. And this was a dumb match. This match sucked. I don't think this is as big a profile match as Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton because I think Nia Jax kind of has cooled down since Elimination Chamber. Regardless, I still think it's a match that should have been saved for something bigger than this. And this is the kind of thing that they had a bullshit finish, and they did it purposefully so that they can have a rematch down the line where there's more stakes, where there's more on the line, where it's more significant, where it's possibly on pay-per-view. And if either of these two matches should have had that, it should have been the Bianca Belair Tiffany Stratton match, in my opinion. Instead, they did it for this match. It's a very short match. They start off, they're hitting each other, they go to the outside, Jade gets thrown against the guardrail, Nia goes up to her, it's Jade's daughter. Nia says, "Your mom sucks," and Jade Cargill's daughter says, "No, she didn't," and it's fine. It's whatever. It's a spot. It's not. They don't like oversell it or anything like that, so it's fine. They're still brawling on the outside. I'm like, and then at this point, I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I'm just like, okay, this is getting a bullshit finish. What's going to happen here? We're gonna get a count out by both, a count out by one. Nia starts throwing stuff around. She clears the announce table. You assume she's going to put her through the announce table. That would have been cool. That would have been legal. That would have been fine. She then starts throwing around like computer chairs and then regular chairs. And now she's in the bell keepers area. And there's the little piece of barricade. And on the other side of the barricade, like towards the ring, not towards the audience, but towards the ring is Jade Cargill. Nia Jax grabs a chair, goes to swing at Jade. Jade intends to catch the chair. She misses. She doesn't miss terribly, but she noticeably misses. It's not good. It's not terribly. I wouldn't even say it's bad. Like we've seen it before where this happens. It's not the end of the world yet. And we'll get to it. Jade gets the chair. She then hits Nia Jax. Jade gets disqualified. Jade's just like, oh, it's like, Jade, you look like a dumb, stupid person. Like, what did you think was going to happen? And here's where maybe they can salvage this next week. We'll see. Before they even start brawling, you can see that Jade is bleeding. And like, not terribly, but I would say noticeably, maybe significantly. I don't know. All these words, maybe they're synonyms. I don't know. That's for you to decide. Agree or disagree. But it was noticeably like end of discussion. So by that logic, Nia Jax did hit her with a chair. And Nia should have been disqualified. And maybe they can salvage that next week. I would think that'd be an interesting wrinkle if Jade next week is just like, she hit me with a chair. I was bleeding. I hit her back. Why am I DQ'd? This is bullshit. But for tonight, it sucked. It sucked that the match was so short. It sucked that they did a bullshit finish, and the execution sucked. And the crowd let them know it. They chanted bullshit. And it wasn't like the bullshit chant that you kind of want. It was just kind of like, ooh, this didn't go well, and they're letting us know. I will say their brawl afterwards, like they had the classic brawl, like hitting each other. They get separated. More referees come out. They start hitting each other again. They collide. It was decent. It was fun. I feel like sometimes those can suck. And especially considering I was taken out of it because the match sucked and there was all this bullshit that I just talked about it. Did they salvage it? No. But was the brawl at the end decent? Yes. So just unfortunate. Super random here. I think the WWE tie-in commercials have been awful for years. Like, I like the Snickers commercials, but the WWE ones are awful. So bad. Dollar General, whatever you want to call it, all those tie-in commercials, their sponsors are absolute dog shit. Like some of the worst commercials I've ever seen. And I was just pleasantly surprised. Cricket had a new one with the Alpha Academy, kind of outdated already, but what have you. And they're talking about phones because, you know, it's Cricket Wireless. And Chad Gable and Otis are over the moon about the chair phone. It's a folding chair that's a phone. Watch the commercial. It's stupid, but it's funny. I enjoyed it. That was the commercial break. That was probably one of the highlights of tonight, was that commercial. So more commercials like that, please. Next up, we have DIY versus Legado del Fantasma. They had some smooth moves in this match. I don't know if where they're going with this. Like, I missed Smackdown last week, but I know that when DIY lost the tag title match against Awesome Truth, Johnny Gargano shook Miz and Truth's hand, but Ciampa didn't. And I didn't think they were going to break up or anything, but I did think that was going to cause a rift. Maybe Ciampa was going to go heel. Maybe they were both going to go heel. I thought it was going to do something, but that doesn't seem to be at all on the radar. Maybe they dropped that. Maybe they were just doing a one-night hint. I don't know. But they had a solid match with Legado del Fantasma. And we'll see. I would love to have DIY. Like, let me put this with DIY. I love both those guys, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Been watching them for years before WWE. Big fans. Them coming back together just felt like two guys who had nothing to do on the main roster. So it's just like, okay, we have history. Let's just be back together. It didn't feel like it was earned. It didn't feel like they did anything to acknowledge it or recognize their past. It was just kind of like, we're just getting slapped together again. And I don't think they've elevated themselves. And I don't think being DX is a solution, especially because they're not on Raw anymore. Truth isn't there to call them, D Generation X, DIY, whatever. So that doesn't work anymore. They can't rely on that. I don't think that was a way to get over either. Like, it was kind of fun and silly, but I think both these guys are talented enough that they can stand on their own. They don't need to impersonate or, ride the coattails of anybody else. I just think they need to find their footing and maybe just have some banger matches, give them some time, give them some good opponents. They can do this. I know they can, but at the moment, I don't care about DIY. Sure, they're going to have a tag title match against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller at some point because they were ringside watching. It's not official yet, but that's obviously where they're going, unless plans change. And I'm about to sneeze. Anyway, I do like this because specifically, and they did acknowledge it. Gargano has history with Austin Theory. I don't think they acknowledged his history with Grayson Waller. They had a rivalry in NXT. I mean, even Gargano came back to NXT last year to have a match with Grayson Waller. So I think they could have a solid match. Do I think it's going to be the DIY versus Revival 2 out of 3 falls match? No, but I think it'll be decent. And I would like to see them get that on pay-per-view, because when Gargano came back, he didn't even get a pay-per-view match against Austin Theory, who was U.S. champ at the time. It was bizarre. I don't know why they didn't book that, but they didn't. Anyway, here's a weird thing. They on commentary, Wade Barrett and I was about to say Grayson Waller. Wade Barrett and Corey Graves acknowledged the QR code stuff that they've been doing. Kind of weird to do that, in my opinion. They just showed one from X. It wasn't even a good one. It was this way, like, that. So you're watching a video like that and I'm just like, what is this? This is terrible. Why are you showing this on TV? It's not like we talked about AEW where they do after show promos on social media, and sometimes they're really good, and how they did the one with Jack Perry and they showed it on Dynamite the next week. Like, this was just bad and like baffling. It's like, why would you show this? Just keep it secret, keep it safe. This didn't need to happen. Maybe they just needed to fill time. I don't know. We get an AJ Styles promo. AJ Styles, what are you doing with your beard? You clearly are dyeing your beard. Your beard and your hair are not the same color. See? Look at my hair. Look at my beard. Same color. His hair was like my color. His beard was black. Like jet black. It looked awful. I mean, I guess he has gray in his beard and he wanted to cover it up. But I mean, Tommaso Ciampa has a gray beard, and his beard tonight was dyed brown and it looked great. It looked like my beard. It was dyed correctly, the correct color. AJ Styles, what are you doing? Your beard is weird. Your stash is trash, especially your stash. I don't like how you cut it, but that's just me. Whatever you want to do with the stash, fine. But like, change the beard color. What are you doing? It was so distracting. Do you like how I review? I feel like it's different than the other guys. It's strange. I know. Anyway, AJ Styles is like, I lost the title match against Cody at Backlash. I lost the opening round of the King of the Ring tournament. What's next for AJ Styles? I'm going to talk to Nick Aldis next week, and we're going to find out what's next. And I'm just like, why don't you just talk to him tonight? That's what I got out of it. Another promo. Bailey backstage. She gets interrupted by Chelsea and Piper Niven. Love Chelsea and Piper Niven. Want to see more of them. They're great. Like hell, if Bianca Belair does end up being pregnant, they should definitely be tag team champions again. So good. Want to see more of them. Looking forward to seeing more of them. And they were fun in this. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but Chelsea Green was dressed up as a sex bot. One of the sex bots from Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. I'm pretty positive she was dressed up as a sex bot. Let me know in the comments if I'm right about that. But we're going to see next week, I believe they're doing a match between Bailey and Piper Niven. Or maybe Chelsea Green. I wasn't really paying attention. We'll have to find out next week. All right, next. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. H-I-M. Remember when I said that? Said that about it later. He is him. If it's H-I-M, why is it spelled out H-1-M? Like consistency, people. Come on. I know I'm a graphic designer. I know I'm a stickler for these things. But he literally just said it earlier tonight, and now his graphic says H1M. It's dumb. Fix it. Figure it out. Be consistent. The match was really good. Randy Orton also selling a knee injury, just like Bianca Belair. And just like Bianca Belair, he won the match. This felt less... I want to say like less... Excuse me. Less damaging than the Tiffany match. Carmelo Hayes, we've seen him come up against like the best and be very competitive and lose. Like we saw him do that with Cody Rhodes. So it's not a big deal. At the end, they do a springboard RKO. You can't do springboards against Randy Orton. Everybody knows that. Regardless, Randy Orton hits the RKO. Oh, here we go. Dro Davidian says, can't wait for Randy to take down Tonga next week. I'm not sure, Dro. I mean, you think about it, him and Kevin Owens lost at Backlash against Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga has all that backup. I wouldn't say that Tama Tonga is winning the tournament, but I do think I think he's beating Randy Orton. But we'll get there. Randy Orton hits the RKO, and he takes an insultingly long time to pin Carmelo Hayes. Like, remember how Randy Orton was so amped after hitting Seth Rollins with the stomp RKO, and he actually forgot to pin like Seth, and the ref had to tell him, he was like, yo, go for the pin. It was longer than that. And it was just like, come on, dude. Like, is it the end of the world? No. But did it annoy me? Yes. Like, he's like fixing his like knee thing. It's just like, do that afterwards. Come on, just pin him. It didn't need to be that long. It was a little frustrating, in my opinion. Not the end of the world, but whatever. Randy Orton wins. Bloodline comes out. I'm bored. But Randy Orton has a great line. He's like talking about like, oh, well, like, speaking of introducing, yourselves, like, I'm going to introduce my foot up your ass next week at King of the Ring. So that's what we're getting. And the crowd goes home happy. And it was not a good episode. I didn't like it. And my mom is liking all my Instagram stories right now, so it's popping up on my phone. I need to get my computer back and start doing this. That's the other thing why my streams aren't great, because I do everything on my phone, and I don't have something on the side to like look up notes and whatnot. But that was SmackDown tonight. Bit of a slog. I'm actually kind of happy I'm going to be in Boston next week, so I'm probably not going to even watch King of the Ring. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the Double or Nothing, but what are you going to do? Hopefully SmackDown is better. All right, Mom, you got to stop liking my stories. I tell her she can't like my stories late at night. It's bothersome. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought here. All right, not bad. I did 50 minutes. I did a lot of rants. Got some engagement. Thank you for watching. The 7 people. Here we go. We don't leave yet. I got some news. So if you like to see more of us, obviously check out the Mark It Down podcast. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're on Twitter. Regardless, and then you can follow us individually as well. You can follow me at Matthew Cascone. And then also, if you're on Long Island, tomorrow it's CradleCon. If you like comic book conventions, tomorrow is CradleCon. It's at the Cradle of Aviation. That is in Nassau County. It's near Nassau Coliseum and Nassau Community College. Yes, James, definitely follow, like, subscribe, all the jams, comment. Glad you're here, buddy. What was I saying? Oh, so tomorrow and Sunday are CradleCon. Come out. I know I will be there with my Lego group, I Lug New York. The New York Avengers are going to be there. They're a great group. As I think the Long Island Ghostbusters will be there too. They're there a lot of years. And a lot of us like wrestling. So if you're there, there's definitely going to be some wrestling content. Like, it's comic books, it's video games. If you like, it is technically a museum, but there's like actual like planes and stuff. So right off the bat, if you like that, check that out. There are arcade games, free to play. That's fun. And all the other things you can think of about comic book conventions. So cosplayers, like my New York Avenger friends, and the Ghostbusters, comic books, all the toys and stuff, and Legos. We have Lego with I Love New York. So check us out. I'd love to see you. Love to meet you. Say hi. And we'll talk shop. We'll talk wrestling. And I will even have, give me a sec. We're wrapping this up. We'll have Lego on display. I will even bring Damian Priest on a ladder. So definitely check that out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, and see you next time. Bye. Let's see if I can get the end credits here. Huh? I should have figured that out first. Oh no, I hit the wrong thing. Ah! Okay, hold on. I can do it. Where is it? Where's the end credits? Damn you. It would make this stuff easier to find. I found here we go.